Ever feel like sometimes you're just getting bombarded with information, like way too much to even process?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially these guys, right?
Yeah, it's like every time you turn around, there's something new to worry about. The market's doing this crazy dance, and then all this new technology pops up, and uh, don't even get me started on what's happening around the world.
You're hitting the nail on the head. It's like the whole world's gone haywire. You know what I mean?
It makes it tough to make any kind of decision. I mean, even small ones feel huge. Like you're afraid to make the wrong move.
It's not just you feeling that the sources we're looking at today are all about this. It's like the old ways of making decisions. They just don't work anymore.
Really, I mean, I always thought like good instincts and experience were supposed to be enough.
Well, yeah, that used to work. But these sources, they actually call this complexity chaos, which I love.
Complexity chaos. I like that.
I know, right? It's catchy, but it's also kind of scary because the thing is, in business, it's everywhere.
Okay, so what makes this complexity chaos so different? I mean, haven't things always been kind of complicated?
I think it's the speed of everything. Things change so fast now, and there's just too much data. Like, even the smartest person in the room can't possibly keep up with it all.
You're telling me, so it's not just me feeling overwhelmed.
Not at all. It's like we're drowning in information, but we're still thirsty for real insight.
Exactly. And without that insight, it's tough to make good decisions. I'm guessing this is where AI comes into the picture.
You got it. See, AI has the potential to be like our co-pilot in this whole mess.
I like that analogy. So instead of robots taking over, it's more like a partnership, right?
Exactly. And what's cool is even though the sources are about business, this whole idea applies to like any decision you have to make.
Okay, so how does AI help with all this chaos? I mean, I get the idea, but the details are still kind of fuzzy for me.
Think of it this way. There are these tools, right? And they each do something different, like machine learning.
Uh-huh.
It's basically teaching computers to find patterns in data, but like way beyond what we can do.
Okay, so it's like having a superpowered research assistant.
Kinda. And then you've got neural networks, which are modeled after our own brains, but can process information so much faster.
So it's like having a super brain on your team.
Right. And then there's predictive analytics, which is using all those patterns to figure out what might happen next.
Okay, I'm starting to see the picture. So it's not just about analyzing the past, it's about looking ahead,
Exactly. It's about getting ahead of the curve.
which is something I think we could all use a little help with.
For sure. And it's not just theoretical either. Like the sources talk about AI being used in finance right now.
Oh, really? Finance? So how does that work?
Well, imagine instead of relying on your financial advisor's knowledge alone,
Uh-huh.
they've got an AI that's analyzed every market move for like the past 50 years. It could spot connections no human would even think to look for.
Whoa, okay. That's way beyond just picking stocks. It's like seeing into the future of the market.
Right. And think about what that means for retirement planning investments. All of it.
That would be a game changer.
Definitely. And it's not just finance companies are using AI in their supply chains, too.
Supply chains. So like what kind of stuff?
Well, AI can look at weather patterns, shipping data, even what people are saying on social media.
Really, social media.
Oh, yeah. It can all be relevant. And it uses all that to predict what's going to be in high demand.
Wow, are you telling me AI could have predicted that whole toilet paper shortage a couple of years ago?
It's possible. The whole idea is to be prepared.
Okay, that's amazing.
Right. And it gets even crazier. There's this whole thing about AI being used in healthcare to help with diagnosing and treatments.
Wow. So it's like AI could help my doctor make the best decisions for my health.
That's the idea. It's still early days, but it's evolving fast.
Okay, so AI can analyze data, predict the future, and now it could help with my health. What can it do?
The big takeaway here is it's not about AI replacing humans.
Okay, good. Because I was starting to get a little nervous.
No need to be nervous. It's about AI giving us the best possible information to work with. So like a doctor can use AI to double check a diagnosis, or a business leader could run different scenarios through an AI before making a big decision.
So it's like AI is a tool to help us make better decisions, not make those decisions for us.
You got it.
Okay, so we've gone from feeling overwhelmed by all this complexity to seeing how AI could actually be a really good thing.
Right. It's all about perspective.
But I have to ask, where do we fit into all this as people? I mean, what's our role in this AI-powered world?
That is the million-dollar question, and that's what we'll dive into next. Stay tuned.
All right, so we've talked about AI being our co-pilot and all this complexity.
Right.
But I'm also thinking, okay, what about us humans?
Yeah.
Are we all going to end up in the back seat while the AI is driving?
That's a good question, and honestly, it's something a lot of people worry about.
I bet.
But I think our sources are pretty clear on this. It's not about AI replacing us. It's more about AI and humans working together, like a team.
Okay, so collaboration, not competition.
Exactly. AI is great at crunching numbers, finding patterns, all that stuff.
Ah.
But it doesn't have our judgment or creativity, and it definitely doesn't understand human emotions the way we do.
Right. I mean, AI can give us the data, but we still need to figure out what it all means.
And then what to actually do about it.
Exactly. So how do we make sure we're the ones in control and not the other way around?
One of the key things the sources talk about is something called human-centered design.
Human-centered design. What's that?
Basically, it means building AI systems that are designed to work with humans, not replace them.
Okay, so it's not just about the tech itself. It's about how it fits into our lives and how we work.
Exactly. And it's also about making sure these AI systems are transparent. We need to be able to understand how they're making decisions.
Right? Not just blindly trust whatever they spit out.
It's like if a doctor told you to take some new medicine.
You'd want to know why.
Exactly. You wouldn't just take it without asking any question.
No way.
It's the same with AI, especially when it's being used to make big decisions that affect our lives.
Okay, so transparency is key. Got it. But let's get practical for a minute. The sources talk about companies needing a roadmap for AI.
Right.
But what about regular people? Like, what can we do to get ready for this AI future?
It all starts with awareness. The more you know about how AI is already being used, the better prepared you'll be.
So do your research stay up to date on what's happening?
Exactly. And then think about how AI could actually help you in your own life.
Okay, so like those financial advisors using AI or doctors using AI for diagnosis?
Right. But it goes beyond that. There are AI-powered tools for learning new skills, planning trips, all sorts of stuff.
Wow. Seriously, it's like there's an AI for everything these days.
Pretty much. And that brings us to the next step, experimentation.
Experimentation.
Don't be afraid to try different AI tools and see what works for you.
Now that you mention it, I've been thinking about learning a new language. Maybe there's an AI app for that?
I bet there is. You just got to look around, and you might be surprised how easy and even fun it can be to use these tools.
Okay, this is starting to feel a lot less scary and a lot more exciting. But I gotta ask,
What's that?
what about jobs? Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
It's true that some jobs will probably be automated as AI gets more sophisticated.
I figured.
But the sources make a really interesting point. It's not necessarily about jobs disappearing. It's more about jobs changing.
Changing how so?
Think of it like this AI can do a lot of the repetitive tasks, the stuff that takes up a lot of time,
Uh-huh.
which frees us humans up to focus on the things AI can't do, like creative thinking, problem solving.
So instead of fearing AI, we should be thinking about how it can help us be better at our job.
Exactly. The key is to be adaptable and to keep learning new things.
Because the job market is always changing.
Exactly. And with AI in the mix, it's going to change even faster.
So we got to keep up.
Exactly. Those who are willing to learn and adapt and work with AI, those are the people who are going to thrive.
Okay, so we've gone from feeling overwhelmed by complexity to seeing how AI can be this powerful tool.
It's been quite a journey.
It has, and I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about the future now.
That's great to hear.
But I also had this feeling like we've only scratched the surface of what's possible with AI.
You're right. We've talked about the present and the near future.
Right.
But what about the really long game? What are the big, mind-blowing possibilities that AI could unlock down the road?
That's a great question.
And that's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive. Stay tuned.
All right, so we've talked about how AI can help us navigate today's world. But what about tomorrow? What's next?
Well, the sources hint at some really interesting possibilities.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
One that really stood out to me is this idea of real-time adaptive analytics.
Real-time adaptive analytics. That's a mouthful.
It is, but think about it. It's AI that's constantly learning as new information comes in.
Okay, so it's not just analyzing data, it's actually adapting to what's happening right now.
Exactly. It's like having a GPS that can predict traffic jams before they even happen.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. So how would that actually work in the real world?
Let's take finance, for example. Right now, traders are making decisions based on what the market's doing at that very second.
Right.
But with real-time adaptive AI, they could have a system that's analyzing everything.
Everything. Like what?
News, social media, even tiny changes in stock prices, all in real time.
So it's like having a sixth sense for what's going to happen next.
Exactly. It's not just about reacting faster, it's about predicting the future.
Okay, now that's just crazy. And you're saying this is actually possible?
It's definitely on the horizon, and it's not just about speed either.
What else?
The sources also talk about AI changing how we interact with technology.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Like those voice assistants?
That's just the beginning. Imagine decision-making interfaces that are so intuitive, it's like having a conversation.
Are we talking like those holographic interfaces you see in sci-fi movies?
It might not be that far off. Imagine instead of staring at spreadsheets, you're wearing AR glasses that show you data right in your field of vision.
Wait, so I'm looking at a project and all the information I need just pops up in front of me.
Exactly, and it's all tailored to your specific role and what you need to know.
Okay, that is a game changer. It's like AI becoming an extension of our own senses.
Exactly. It's about making information more accessible and actionable.
And that's not all, is it?
Nope, the possibilities are endless, personalized dashboards, AI-powered brainstorming tools.
Whoa, my head is spinning. This is
It
incredible.
is, and we haven't even talked about the big picture stuff yet.
Oh, right, like AI being used for strategic planning.
Exactly. That used to be something only CEOs and world leaders worried about.
Right.
But now imagine AI that can analyze trends across entire industries and economies. It can create scenarios for the future.
So instead of just reacting to what's happening, we could actually be shaping the future.
That's the idea. It's about having the tools to think bigger and further ahead than ever before.
It's exciting, but also kind of scary.
I agree. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with this kind of power. But that's why it's so important to have these conversations now.
So we can make sure we're using this power for good.
Exactly. The more we understand about AI's potential, the better choices we can make.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. We started about feeling overwhelmed by complexity, then we learned how AI could be our partner, and now we're talking about shaping the future with AI.
It's been quite a journey.
I'm feeling a mix of awe and, yeah, a little bit of fear too.
That's understandable. AI is a powerful force, but ultimately, I think it has the potential to help us solve some of the biggest challenges we face.
Like finding cures for diseases, tackling climate change.
Exactly. And even just helping us make better decisions in our everyday lives.
This conversation has definitely given me a lot to think about. I'm feeling less overwhelmed and more well-inspired, I guess.
That's great to hear. This isn't something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace, to learn from.
And to shape into something that benefits everyone.
That's the key. AI is here. It's evolving fast, and it's going to impact all of us. The most important thing is to stay curious, keep learning, and be a part of this AI-powered future.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive, but don't stop the conversation here. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining the possibilities. Who knows what amazing things are just around the corner in the world of AI?
Thank you, amazing listeners, for enjoying Could Be. Your support means the world to us. If you loved the song, please give it a like, share it with friends, and subscribe for more great music. Stay tuned for more. Your engagement makes all the difference. See you next video clip, and kiss you.